Okay, thank you for tuning in once again. Inside Boxing. I'm your host, Chief. Um, we got Ward Kovalev 2 tonight, and earlier this week we had the official announcement of Mayweather-McGregor. And we're going to touch on both of them real quick because it's kind of hot out here. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning and it's damn near 90-something degrees. Crazy, right? But my opinion really hasn't waned from my last video as far as Ward and Kovalev is concerned. As a matter of fact, it's my prediction has gotten a little more solid because a few things. Ward is highly adaptable as far as styles are concerned, and he could pretty much, switch on the fly. Might take him a round or two, but he can figure you out and make that adjustment. Because he knows many styles of boxing. Kovalev, on the other hand, while he is a good and underrated boxer, he just with punchers they rely on their punch because they don't have to do much else. Everybody pretty much falls before them, either out of fear or they just get clipped. And he doesn't have a plan B really. I never seen him be able to fight going backwards, much like Triple G. He's got one style. I see this fight Ward just picking up basically in the 13th round, and I wouldn't be surprised if Ward stops him, kind of like he did Chad Dawson. And another thing I noticed about Kovalev is making a lot of excuses when fighters do that. They're usually they're not self-assured. They're doubting themselves. It first started with his conditioning coach, and all you're hearing is that his conditioning coach had him working too much. He overtrained him, but you didn't hear that before the fight. He was in the best shape before the fight. Remember that? You can go back and he was in the best shape of his life. You can go back to any clip. He didn't say nothing about overtraining or nothing. He had the same guy when he fought Jean Pascal in Canada, no problem there. He had the same guy when he fought gosh, I forget this guy's name. When he fought him in Russia right before Ward, and he didn't look so great. But yeah, he didn't complain then. So if you don't complain when you win, you damn sure can't complain when you lose. Okay, a big case of sour grapes. He seems to be real intimidated. You're not gonna come out to the Bay Area, where I'm from, where I'm at, and you're not gonna punk nobody, man. You ain't gonna match verbals and swag. You know what I'm saying? And him being over there from Russia, there's a language barrier, of course. Not to mention he ain't got no swag. And then number two, he ain't rolling with nobody. You see Ward's team, you hear them, they shouting all kinds of stuff, to him in the weigh-in. And it's not only Ward. I mean, Ward's people, they letting him know, man. You know what I'm saying? No, it's just boxing. You get clipped, Ward, you get clipped and get out of there, get knocked out, just like Tarver and Roy Jones. I was super surprised at that. But honestly, I've dealt with bullies a lot in my whole life, and this is a common pattern I've seen personally, dealing with and fighting bullies and dealing with bullies as a youngster. When you don't back down from them, they don't know what to do. They scared. They'll say, oh, him walking off of the press conference and the final presser. He was scared. He's intimidated. He didn't want to hear Ward's camp shouting that realness at him. You know what I mean? Because he ain't got nothing for it. You know what I mean? He can't say nothing. He's saying all this and that about how he swore he won. Hey, the fight was close. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that the fight could have went either way. Would I have been mad if it was a draw? No. Would I have been mad if it went to Kovalev? No. Matter of fact, to be truth be told, at the time, although I may not have admitted it because I knew it was close and I was rooting for Ward, technically, if we were to sit down and shut up and everybody stop throwing out their opinions and yada yada, but if we sat down, be quiet, and just judge the fight for ourselves personally, I probably would have Kovalev ahead, probably by a point, in the first fight. It's the truth, like I'm saying, there's no bias, there's no prejudice, no nothing. I judge boxing. I don't care if you're black, white, purple, green. Boxing is boxing. We all bleed red. So You know, that being said, this time though, it's a different ball game. He didn't win 12 rounds with that dude. He ain't scared. He ain't intimidated, and he knows what he got. So I see it kind of like being a route like he did with Chad Dawson. And then earlier in the week we had excuse me, I have my coffee now. Earlier in the week we had McGregor finally signed to fight Mayweather. Now, don't get it twisted. Everybody's kind of putting out in the headlines like Mayweather finally signed. Mayweather signed a long time ago. He don't answer to nobody. Y'all know that. Stop being silly. You know, McGregor finally got the clearance from his boss. You know, and you know, Dana ain't gonna let you move. And you know, he got a big chunk of that pie. You know, McGregor walking around flossing and all this and all that. But the big thing about a big difference between McGregor and Dana White, and the difference between Mayweather and Al Heyman is that Mayweather and Al Heyman are business partners. McGregor and Dana White are not in any capacity. Make no mistake about it, Conor McGregor works for Dana White, and that is Dana White's biggest